Oh, we're live?
Live.
All right.
Hey.
How are you?
I am so glad you know all these technical ins
I
and
know.
outs.
The
I tell
process
you.
has to go right to figure it all out. But
So Marianne and I sat down a couple of weeks ago, and so many of the questions that we get are just basic. How do I get started in
right.
longevity? And we talked about doing a couple of different things. Maybe doing a weekly training, just a basic getting started in your business training. And then we thought, you know what, why don't we just record some videos so that we can share them with everybody? So that's what we're attempting to do.
Right, and we're testing this, and if it works, this is going to be great. But what we wanted to really kind of help you hone in on, what do I need to be doing in the first 30 days of my business?
Right.
Because people are really excited, they want to get started, and we want to keep that excitement going.
And we want to get started with a bang.
Yeah.
Because, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team, so to speak. And if you start out with a bang, then most likely your team's going to start off with a bang.
Right. And then, the cool thing in network marketing is you have mentors, and you don't need to know everything, right, to start off with. And so this is going to be a great resource where you can just say, okay, now all we have to do is watch, we're going to do a bunch of little videos, 5 to 7, 8 minutes, depending. Hopefully. Keep our fingers crossed. But anyway, so we just kind of wanted to introduce you into what we're going to do, how to start your first 30 days.
Yep. Basic things like just how to get started, how to enroll. It's sometimes we take for granted after we've been in the business that everybody knows how to do these things. So just first of all, how to enroll somebody, defining your why, which is huge, right?
Right. I think, and we were talking about that, it's got to come from the heart. It's got to really, everybody always says your why's got to make you cry, but you know what? It's got to make you smile too.
Sure.
I mean, I get goosebumps when I think about why I'm doing this business. And I think that's where that emotion is huge, and it keeps you plugging along.
That's right. It's paramount. Paramount to your being able to go through the challenges which you're inevitably will be feeling throughout your journey in longevity. So how to define your why, and your why constantly changes. It may not change in your first year of doing your business, but as you feel a little bit more successful, you're getting a little bit more financial stability, then chances are your why is going to shift and change.
And it gets bigger. That's what I noticed. My why just, at first it might have been, just to have a little extra money to do some fun stuff, because we didn't really have that. And then it just started getting bigger and bigger. So you're right, it changes.
You know what, too, and that's a really good question. That's a really good point, because a lot of times people say, oh, I don't know if my why is big enough. And I always tell people it's not about how big it is. It's about how much it's going to motivate you.
Right.
And so, like you said at the beginning, just being able to get out of, past the security of, okay, now I can pay my bills. Right. That's huge.
Right. So, having more money at the end of the month than not enough.
Yeah. Then the other part of getting started is making your list.
A lot of people have a lot of trouble with that, and making their list, right?
Yeah.
Really, because I think then all of a sudden they get nervous because they have to share that with someone else of what they're doing. And that's why I think it's powerful to get your story, to get your why, because then when you start calling and talking to these people, you can say, here's why I'm doing this, and it makes perfect sense if that's where they would have a why.
Absolutely.
That they would want to do it. So you want to have 50 business builders and 50 people who want to use the product to improve their health. And why do you do it like that?
Well, I think that first off, a lot of times people find that it's easier just talking about health rather than the business part. And so, I sometimes suggest to people just to practice sort of enrolling people into their business just on the health side. And then you're going to use your upline leader as your resource to enroll your business builders, either through a three-way call, through a two-on-one meeting,
right,
or inviting them to a meeting, an opportunity meeting.
And in the three-way call, a lot of times, it's a three-way interaction. Whether it is a call, or it's sitting down and having coffee with someone, or it's meeting someone in a different setting. And so I think sometimes people are like, well, do I need to get them on the call? Can we sit down and have coffee? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I could do a face-on-face three-way, I'd much rather do that.
Right.
Than do the call side. But the call is important because our business can be anywhere, and so we're growing it, from one end of the country to the other, and even internationally. And so that's when the call side of it is a big part.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So, and then, we're going to teach you about the simple getting started system, which is really getting you to EMD in your first week, and then SEMD in your first 30 days. And the reason why SEMD in the first 30 days is important is that is the foundation for the entire longevity comp plan.
Right.
Once you know how to get yourself to SEMD, Senior Executive Marketing Director, in 30 days, then you know how to help somebody get there on your team.
Right.
And that's really the whole beauty of the comp plan.
And you always talk about the SEMD babies, and I like that because that's really what we're doing, is we're just creating them over and over and over again, and it really starts filling up. It starts filling up your business. And once you become SEMD and you become CAR qualified and you're coded, your coding bonuses there. That's when you really start seeing some nice checks coming in the door.
It really starts to make a difference in your financial livelihood.
Right. No, exactly.
When your car is paid for, you're getting those weekly checks, and then the monthly residual.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, and I like what you said. You're kind of doing your day-to-day, and you're living off of those bonuses that you're getting, signing people up, and the CEO side, right? And you're building that residual side, and because that's your legacy, that's your back end, and when that starts taking off, that's when you really start feeling good about your business itself.
And that's where true wealth is made, in your residual checks. So that's what we are all going for in network marketing.
All right, so that's the end of this video, and we're going to come back, and now we're going to start breaking down these little items that we talked about into a little bit more in depth. So,
yay!
All right, we did it.